Hello. I know I'm a little bit early. Well, I'm quite a lot early, actually. I'm an hour early. And I'm very out of sorts because of it. Let me just check to see if it's actually coming up on the laptop. Oh, it does look as though there's something going on. Okay, so happy 30th of May. Here in the UK, this is the start of the Platinum Jubilee celebrations. Thursday, Friday are bank holidays. We're going to two big girls are going to an event on Wednesday the 1st. Quite a lot lined up for this whole time. I hope you're all getting excited about it too. I'm not quite sure who'll be joining me because I'm not at my usual time, but that's okay. It's not a problem. Now, excuse me. You don't want to look at me, but if you don't know who I am, my name's Cary and I'm one half of Two Big Girls Crafting here in the United Kingdom. I'm going to be sharing with you today some everyday objects and using them in your card making. So without further ado, let me switch you around and get over to the craft space. Much better than my face. Okay, this is the stamp set I've chosen to use for my sentiments. And I'm going to be creating the backgrounds with a bottle lid and a toilet roll inner. And anything else I think of as I'm going along. So I'm going to move the stamps away. I am going to be using my colours of the month, which are the in colours from Stamping Up this month. Parakeet Party, Tahitian Tide, Orchid Oasis, Starry Sky and Sweet Sorbet. If you are in the UK and looking for a fantastic deal on joining Stamping Up, now's the time to do it before tomorrow. 10 o'clock tomorrow evening is the last chance you get. The moment the joining offer is £99, you get to spend £130, order £130 worth of product of your choice from any of the current catalogues available. And you will receive these 5 ink pads as well as a pack of the in colour DSP, which is double-sided pattern paper, 6x6 pack in these colours, and a packet of grid paper, which is what this is, but it's a special one because it's in these colours. It's got these gorgeous colours on it, and a pack of A4 cardstock to each of the for each of these colours to get you started. So that's the great deal that's around at the moment. Let's crack on with the more fun stuff, the party bits. Let's make some cards. Now I have pre-scored and cut my card bases. As usual, I'm a temp fold or an A-frame shaped card person. That's what I like. But what I do love is a nice crisp fold. So I do always use my bone folder, both sides, to get a nice crisp finish. There we go. That's my card base. Now, what am I going to do with this and this? Well, I'm going to use them as my stamps. I'm going to do a red, white and blue version first. So I've got a white card base and I've got my red ink pad, which is Sweet Sorbet. And I'm going to be using Starry Sky for my blue. I've got them both open. I'm also going to need a piece of kitchen roll or toilet tissue. I'm actually going to be very naughty and use some baby wipes as well, just for cleaning purposes of my bits that I'm doing. So I'm all ready. Okay, now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the toilet roll inner. I don't know quite what you call them. Hi Andrea, thank you for joining me. And I'm going to treat it as a stamp. So I'm going to tap, 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 tap and add some ink onto it. I'm now going to I quite like the not perfect look. If you like perfection, this probably isn't for you. But I quite like it. So I'm just creating a pattern, a random pattern. And I've gone up my card. Can you see that? I think looks really cool. Now I am going to just dab off most of the ink off of that edge of there, simply because I don't want to get it everywhere and I am very messy. I'm now going to take my bottle cap and do the same thing. Anything that's circular will work, obviously. 1, 2, 3. I like the pattern this is giving me because it's, can you see it's got a little bit of shape to it. I am doing a bit of, oh look, I'm getting messy already. That's why you need the kitchen roll or tissues nearby. I am doing a bit of a series at the moment on my Make It Simple Monday Facebook Lives. Hi Kay! And these are everyday objects that you can find everywhere. All you need is an ink pad and some cardstock. Nothing fancy schmancy. And there. And one more, I think, over here. Now, how easy was that? I like the effect. I think it's rather attractive, but I do think there's a way we can improve upon it. We can make this a little bit special, and that involves a water brush or a paintbrush. I found mine. Now, our paintbrushes, water brushes come in 3 sizes. I'm just going to take the medium size. And I've obviously used it for white ink at some point because it's a bit stiff. Hi Debbie! And as you'll see, I'm going to take out another cap, bottle cap, because I leave these on my desk because I use them because I am a bit messy. So I use them to put little drops of water in. So I'm using this as a paintbrush. I'm just going to wipe the tip, wet the tip, and then I'm going to just dry it off on a piece of tissue to make sure it's not covered in another colour ink. Get this stamp pad open. And I'm going to squeeze it in the middle gently and receive some ink in there. So I'm going to take my ink, I'm going to mix a little bit of it over here, and I'm just going to go around these edges and just give it a bit of colour. You don't have to do this bit. You might not want to. You might like it just as a plain pattern. I might as well. I don't know. I haven't tried yet. This is just an idea that I've had in my head. You could use marker pens, alcohol markers. Do you remember when we were kids? We used, I don't know about you, but I always used to draw squiggly lines all over a piece of paper and then gradually colour it in using my felt tips or crayons. So each section had a different colour. Now I'm going to colour mine in all red on these red ones. And I'm going to leave the spaces white so we can keep a red, white and blue theme going in honour of the Jubilee. Now I am absolutely certain that all of you guys out there who are watching this will be able to do this with far more finesse than I am. But I'm not huge on straight lines and keeping everything neat and perfect. I quite like a bit of messy. And I'm just using my water brush to keep the ink in my pad quite loose. I don't want to make it identical every time. Can you see how that's coming along? Now some of you might be going, oh my lord, this is not for me. That's fine. It doesn't have to be for you. I know for a fact Andrea is probably sitting there having heart failure because it's not perfect and it's not exact and it's not in a perfect pattern. but I'm quite liking that. So I'm going to put my red ink down, close that up, give that a bit of a wash in there, and do the same with my Starry Sky. So squeeze, 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 open out and get the colour. And again, a little drop of water and loosen that paint up. Now this time, I think I am going to leave the little spaces. Now this would work really nicely if you wanted to make it a tidier look, if you were using your alcohol markers or your blends or your, what's the other nice ones? Watercolour pencils would work beautifully with this. Oh yes, I like that. I like the simple effect. I was going to leave the bits white, weren't I? Oh dear. Oh well, I've changed my plan. That's the nice thing about paper crafting. I can change my mind any time I like without causing too much. These look like bubbles. It's just struck me. They look very much like bubbles. I have a 4-year-old grandson and a almost 3-year-old niece who I help bring up on a Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, and they love bubbles. So this card would be right up their street.
Joyce Marie Costa, just going to retrieve the roll I put in the recycle bin. I love this idea.
Oh, Joyce, good idea. I mean, I have actually got on my table, I saved the inside from my kitchen roll. You could do whatever. I mean, I literally just picked up things that I had on the table in my kitchen, and I think it's working out rather nicely. I'm going to finish this one, and then I'm going to make another one where I'm not going to colour it in with water brush and ink. I'm going to go for a different look on the next one. My mind is working as I'm playing. I'm sure most of you know by now, when you're crafting, things just kind of evolve, don't they? They just take on a life of their own. Computer, good idea. Absolutely, Herbie. Brilliant idea, loving bubbles. I think that looks rather nice. I'm quite pleased with that. I like the imperfections. I like the way the colours are not perfect. That's good for me. Right, I'm going to pop that piece of kitchen roll in that lid, and that's why I use the lids, because I don't end up having to worry about having lots of wet water around when I'm crafting with paper, because I was messy. I'm not going to pop a sentiment on there yet. I'm going to give it a moment just to dry off. And let's try another one. I have more card bases here. I am a bit short on time today because this appointment that I'd complete, I thought it was at 7 o'clock tonight, and it turns out it's 4 o'clock this afternoon. Fortunately, it's not far away, so I don't have far to travel, but it'll still take me 10 minutes to get there. But bone folder. Let's get this down. Okay, we're going to put those colours to one side, and we're going to focus on these 3 colours now. Orchid Oasis, which is a purple, a shade of lilac, a dark lilac, Tahitian Tide, beautiful, turquoise, and Parakeet Party. Oh, I love a bit of Parakeet Party. Now, what was I going to do? Ah, yes, I was just going to use the same size, check it's clean, ink it up, and down we go. And I am literally just being completely random here. Random is difficult for some people, but it's it's one of those things. The more you do it, the easier it gets. Oh look, I just put my fingers right in the ink pad. Let's get rid of some of that. Let's use it. Names of the colours are great, aren't they, Debbie? Stampin' Up does. You always use great colour names. So we're going to go with the Tahitian Tide now, which is a tempting turquoisey kind of colour. And I like this pattern. It's evolving nicely now. We're going to go up to there. Are we looking like bubbles again? Carlin. Sorry. Carton. Sorry for the poor pronunciation. I think we might need to go back to the orchid for a couple more bubbles. I'm going to call them bubbles because I think they actually work really well as bubbles. We need one there. And the reason I'm wanting more is because I'm going to go over them with the third colour. So I've put my two colours down so they're not intersecting with each other at all. I'm going to take my Parakeet Party. Love this colour, so pretty. I am going to give this a good clean because we don't want to contaminate the ink pads. Dry it off, and here we go. We're going to go over. Oh yes, look at those. All I'm doing is joining my previous circles with the third colour. I'm making a complete background here. Oh, I like that. Wow, how quick was that? Quick, easy, no hassle, nothing mod, no products to worry about. It just goes on like that. That would be perfect if you wanted to make a whole sheet of A4 like that and cut it up. Makes a great... I've got so much ink on my fingers. Oh dear, look at that lot. Not to worry. You like them with the third colour? I do. I like this colour combination. This Orchid Oasis, Tahitian Tide and Parakeet Party. I just think the colours are gorgeous. Now, that is exactly what I'm going to do, Debbie. I'm just going to pop a sentiment on and they're done. There's our first one that we did. We coloured in with the watercolour. This one, I'm going to get my favourite embellishment tool. It's called Wink of Stella. It's clear and it just adds sparkle. And all I'm going to do is actually go in and put some little bits of highlight where everything joins over. So if it's intersected by another space, I'm colouring that in. Oh, this is sparkly. I wish you could see it in real life. It's so gorgeous. The sparkle on Wink of Stella is just fabulous. Yes. And it's water-based, so it dries nice and quickly. You can even watercolour with it. But I'm not going to do that today. I'm just using it as a clear coat to add a little bit of more to this project. Just a little bit of sparkle. I don't do a lot of sparkle on a Monday. But this one, I think, just might look good. Now, is that going to come up on the screen or not? Oh, I don't think it is. In real life, this is sparkling like crazy. I wonder if I put some on here, if it would come up on here. I just put a bit on the lines. I'm not going to colour the whole areas. Just like a bubble would catch the light. And there's no rhyme or reason to the way I'm doing it. I am just being completely random. Can you see it better on the colour? Probably. Let's just add a little bit of light to it. Okay, put that away. Wink of Stella. great thing to have around if you need something. It will go with all colours. So what are we going to do for the sentiments? I think I'm going to choose what sentiments should I use? I think one of these cards, this one probably is going to go landscape, and this is going to be portrait. So we could choose a happy birthday for this one. That would be quite nice, wouldn't it? Now we just have to find it, because... Oh, I've just had a fun thought. Oh, if you're doing with the toilet roll, you could put your sentiment in there. Oh, I've got to try this. Hang on, guys. Good job I made another card base. I just had that idea and I liked it, so I'm going to have a go and see if it works. So we need... Let's go for the Orchid Oasis. No, I've changed my mind. Let's go for Tahitian Tide. I'm going to take the other end of my toilet roll holder. Ink, ink, ink. And I'm just going to... Oh. There we go. There. 2, 4, 6. One more. Got to work in odd numbers. And then I'm going to pick the Parakeet Party, and I'm going to put my circles inside my circles. They're not exact, they're not perfect, but I'm going to leave this one because that one is going to become where my sentiment goes. So let's grab a block, put my block down, use my grid paper to line up my sentiments, line up my block on the grid paper, line up my sentiment onto the grid, and I think we'll go for a bit of, oh, don't want that on there, let's close that up. I think we will go for the happy birthday. Tap, tap, tap. Check it's the right way up. Yes. Tap, tap, tap. And down. 1, 2, 3. How easy and quick was that? In fact, we could go back in and bring in the Orchid Oasis with another bottle cap, just like that. What do we think? Do we like it? I think that's super quick, super simple, and you could probably find all those things hanging around your craft working area or your kitchen. So I like that one. Now let's find a sentiment for this one. I think we need something that goes a long way across. So life is better with a friend like you. There it is. I'm very poor at reading these things upside down and back to front. That looks right shape. Take the backing off. When you receive your stamp sets, if you buy them from Stamping Up, a cling mount one, they come pre-cut and with covers on the back. Please remember to take the cover off, otherwise they don't stick on. I found that out years ago, more than once. Okay, let's line that up. I think that's fairly straight. Now, I'm going to be bold and pop that across there. Line up my card base onto my grid paper. What colour shall I stamp it in? I think I might actually bring in my good old Memento and just go for a basic black sentiment on there. I'm going to try it out on my grid paper. Good job I did, because it was up the wrong way. Ink, ink, ink. Put the lid on and take a deep breath, because this is going down now. 1, 2, 3. How simple. Flat. One layer card. You could, of course, I have a strip of card here. I could ink up my stamp, stamp it onto a strip of card. 2, 3. Chop off the end at an angle and pop that on there so it's more visible. But if you don't have time, just go straight on your pattern, or leave a space where you want your sentiment to go. I quite like that with the pattern on there. So I'm going to pop that to one side, and I'm going to go for this card. Okay, so let's clean this stamp because I'm going to use the happy birthday one again. We always need birthday cards, don't we? Well, some of us do. Some of us are really bad at sending birthday cards, and I would be that person. Okay, so I'm going to take my Starry Sky because it would be rude to send a sentiment stamped in red. Red is an angry colour for text as far as I'm concerned. Now look, can you see how I've managed to catch a lot of ink around there? What I'm going to do is just grab a little piece of tissue, dry, not wet, and wipe it off. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I don't want that ink to transfer onto my work. So let's do it this way. We might stand a chance of getting it perfect. I think down there or there. No, there. Quick huff because it's been inked a minute. And 1, 2, 3. There we go. Another quick, simple and fun birthday card made in moments with everyday items that you'll find in your home. Toilet roll inners, bottle caps and ink. 3 cards. Fun, easy, and using my favourite in colour colours, which are Sweet Sorbet, Tahitian Tide, Starry Sky, Parakeet Party and Orchid Oasis. Thank you for joining me, and fingers crossed we will see you next week at the usual time. Not early and hopefully not late either. Take care, look after yourselves and enjoy the Jubilee weekend. Bye.